What should I trade? This is Marina Villatoro, the Trader Chick. And right now we're going to go over the four major markets that traders usually focus on to trade. There's quite a few financial markets. So actually, there's a huge list. But what we want to focus on is the four major ones, the ones that are the most popular, the ones that are the most traded, because you also want volatility when you trade. Okay? So let's focus on the four major ones. So none of these are in order. They're actually pretty much traded equally. I would say 25%, each. Obviously, it's a lot different. There might be a little bit more here, a little bit more there. However, overall, these are the four largest ones. So right now, we're going to be focusing on Forex. What exactly is Forex? Forex is literally just a foreign exchange, right? And it is classified as currencies. And basically, the easiest way to explain it is you take one global currency and place it against another global currency, and you want to see the difference. So, for instance, let's say we're doing the USD, right? The United States dollar, and you want to put it against the euro. Okay, so whatever the euro is right now, I don't know, maybe let's say $106 to 1 euro. And you are betting on, let's say that there's a lot of issues going on in Europe, that the euro is going to lose strength, right? So your focus is, okay, I am saying that the US dollar is going to gain strength over the euro. So for instance, if you are right now at 106, you're saying, okay, I'm going to get in right now. And I'm saying that the euro is going to be at 103, and that's when I'm going to get out. This is a very general way of explaining what the Forex market is, but you kind of get the idea. Or the same as the US dollar versus the yen, you're saying that the yen is going to go up in price and weaken the dollar. This is completely hypothetical. I don't actually do Forex, so I don't know the market that well. So you're saying that it's going to gain strength and you're going in at a lower price to get out at a higher price. I'm going to go over this a lot more in my beginners boot camp for day trading. So I'm hoping you could join us there. But this is basically like the gist of what Forex is. The great thing about Forex is it is the only market that is literally traded 24 hours a day with similar volatility levels. The next market, oops, sorry about that. Futures markets. Another way of knowing futures easily is commodities. That's how it began. The futures market began as a commodities market where, for instance, you want to go and buy a barrel of oil today, but you're saying that in 3 months, usually the futures markets are all on contracts and they're usually 3-month contracts, that in 3 months today you're buying the barrel at, let's say, $45. In 3 months you're saying that it's going to be up around $48, right? So if you buy 10 barrels, you can make up to $30. This is a very, very, very general way of looking at things. This is how it began, not only with oil, it was with cotton. It was helping out the farmers place a better price on what they want their product to be in the future. Futures market. This was, ages ago, over a century and a half ago, when the futures market came about because of this, to help the farmers out with the contracts. They're saying that they're going to have corn today. The corn costs whatever a barrel, but in 3 months, by the time they reap, their harvest, it's going to cost this much. It's speculation. They don't know if that's the truth, but that's how the futures market began. Today, the futures market is much more than just um, physical commodities, right? You could trade the indexes, which has now actually become the biggest financial instrument to be traded all over the world, and it is the ES Mini, which is the S&P 500 index, which is actually US 500 US top corporations. So the best time to trade that particular instrument is from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time. However, the futures market has a lot more but it's not as smooth as the ES Mini. Okay, so this is again very general. I go over much more in detail what the futures market is and how to be able to trade it. Also, it's one of the lowest entries as far as an investment for how much you need to put up with your broker. I go over this a lot more in my beginners boot camp for day trading. I'm hoping you will go into that with us more, and then you could decide exactly what is the best financial market for you to trade. It's very important for you when you do decide to finally trade, even though what I'm going to be teaching is the market movements, how the market moves. That is universal. However, you do need to know your market. All the markets move completely differently. The patterns and the indications are similar. However, you need to understand what's going on. So that's why it is crucial for you to get clarity on what you want to focus on. For instance, if you want to focus futures, okay, great. You want to focus futures. I personally only focus on the ES Mini. You need to decide, you need to figure out what you want to focus on when you are in the futures. Do you want crude? Do you want ES Mini? Do you want the Russell? You need to focus on that. The same with Forex. A lot of people only choose one pair to work with, maybe the US versus the euro, or the US versus the yen. You will decide, right? Again, you need to study your markets. So the next market that is traded equally, and of course, the one that is most popularly known, for instance, if anybody ever says, oh, you're a day trader, oh, what stocks do you trade? They don't realize that it's only probably 25% of the world that trades stocks, right? So stocks is a share of a company, right? You could buy a share of an Apple, a share of Disney. You could get shares of much lower, less companies, and your goal is to see them either go up in price or go down in price, right? That will depend again on how you want to focus on the market or how you want to focus on those particular positions that you are planning on trading, right? Again, I go over this a lot more in the beginners boot camp, so you really get an idea. Right now, I just want to introduce to you the four major markets that people trade, so you can start to get an idea of what is out there. So stocks, I personally don't trade stocks for several reasons. Because one, you need a lot more money to enter the stock market, because as in with futures or Forex, you just put in a certain amount for the trade you go, and you need usually about 500 to start your account. I recommend about $2,000. With stocks, a lot of brokers will tell you it's 500 bucks. That's a lie. With $500, just think of it. You want to trade Apple, right? You're saying, okay, Apple is either gonna go up for, right now the earnings are great, it's gonna go up. Apple's 100 bucks a share. What are you gonna get with $500, right? So that's the thing with stocks. You need to invest a lot more money to see profits. There is a thing called penny stocks. Um, if you plan on doing stocks and penny stocks, it's a very different market as in stocks. Again, the movement, the reversal patterns, the indications, the trends, they are all the same, universal. When we are done with this mini course, and if you continue with the boot camp, you will be able to read any market as far as what the market tells you, but you will need to be studying each market separately. So with stocks in particular, including penny stocks, there is a lot of research that needs to be done. Each stock has a totally different news characteristic. It has many different things that are going on with it at the moment, right? So you need to be up to date with that. That's another reason I'm not crazy about stocks, is too much research. Not the same with futures. You don't need that much research at all. And Forex, you could just focus on that particular thing. So stocks, you usually, if you do trade, you should probably be focusing on 10 to 15 different stocks to trade. Penny stocks is also totally different market. So these are the two different things. Penny stocks, obviously, you don't need as much money, but it is a different way of doing it. Again, same thing with the movements, trends, indications, but it's a different research pattern, right? So that's something you need to think about. And the last major market is options. So options allows you to enter the stock market itself at a much lower price range, because what you're actually doing is you're buying contracts on the stocks. It's a little bit more complicated, and you definitely will need to really understand options before you get into them. They work very differently as far as entries and exits as the rest of the three markets that I just mentioned. However, you could follow the flow of the movement of the market and understand what will be happening the same way. But you do need to understand the exact art, I would say, of each of the following markets. Now, when you start to trade, again, I will say this again, you will need clarity. Trading, as we just discussed before, is not investing, right? So with investments, we are constantly told you need diversity, diversity, build up on your portfolio. It's the exact opposite when you trade, because diversity for the long run, excellent, right? You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. With trading, you do, because you want to be laser focused. You want to know exactly what your particular market is going to be doing that day, that hour. So if you have too many things going on, you can't focus that laser way, right? So this should give you a good idea of what the four markets are. Again, I really will go over each one a lot more in detail in the beginner's boot camp, so you really get an idea. Right now, I just want you to know what those four major markets are. If you have any questions, please shoot away. I'm sure many other people have the same questions, and I'll be happy to answer them as much as I can. And have a great day. This is Marina Villatoro, the Trader Chick.